inside the white lines. It's the day after the FA Cup final. Tom's sitting there smug in his Arsenal shirt and Mark sitting there feeling sorry for himself. We all know what happened. Who wants to start?
I still think Tom should start. Get all the gas out early.
Tom?
We beat you. Pure and simple. You can't beat us in FA Cup finals. Arsenal haven't lost FA Cup finals since 1980. 40 years now. Beat you 2 years ago in 2017. And I said to you on Friday, we're going to beat you again. And you were so cocky, and that's what you get.
You called 2-1, to be fair to you. You did say 2-1 the last
I
time.
called it 2-1. The only thing I was joking about was Pepe the winner, but that would have just been the icing on the cake. But I didn't think Pepe was going to score, but I knew he was going to beat you 2-1.
His finish, can't take nothing away from the finish, even though it was a called offside. He still finished it.
Yeah.
But he's finished.
I know, it was offside, yeah.
He finished it like a boss, though, I must say.
He had an annoyingly good game.
He did, actually. He played quite well.
What happens when you play inferior opposition?
What's that?
As Mark likes to point out, that Aubameyang only scores against small teams and he's a stat padder. So I don't know what that says about Chelsea.
It don't matter. Aubameyang's leaving anyway.
I reckon he's done a sign now.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I reckon that definitely helped.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So what are your views
It's
on
all
the game?
depending what the offer comes in, isn't it?
Depends if another club comes in for him, innit? It's hard if you turn.
Oh, mate,
If Bayern, Barca, Real, if they come knocking for you, no.
Like,
Can't say no to
a chance of winning the Champions League is
Yeah.
definitely going to turn his head. I know he's probably,
He's like 31.
loyal to Arsenal.
Yeah,
now,
he's
but
31.
Yeah.
So what are your views on the final, Mark? How are you feeling?
I think they were better than us for most of the game. I think the referee was dog shit.
You sound like an Arsenal fan now.
Good. I know. I'm trying not to be pure conspiracy theory. But he made some suspect decisions. The Kovacic was not a second yellow, like we said. That was never a second yellow.
No, I'll agree with you there. It wasn't a second yellow.
I don't understand the VAR thing. Is that just straight reds?
Straight reds. You can't renew. They can't renew yellow cards, even if that yellow card then leads to a red card, which is a game changing.
I don't think anyone can explain the way VAR actually works. It's like so.
You just pull like a new rule out of
no consistency with it. That's the problem.
They make their minds up every week, and then no one's culpable for it.
Well, as a neutral, I feel that Arsenal definitely deserve to take the win. I feel like Chelsea dominated the first 20 minutes of the game.
Started really well.
And then when Arsenal finally got their foot in there, Chelsea never got back into it. They had a small spell when they come out for the second half. But
then once Pulisic got injured, I just felt like that was it. That's when everyone's heads dropped as well. We went 2-1. Pulisic got injured
in the game until he come off.
Yeah, our two best players that game, I'd say, were Pulisic and Kovacic, and they both. Well,
that's the first time Giroud's ever lost at Wembley. Out of 13 appearances at Wembley in a final, he's won 12. That's the first one he's ever lost.
That's what we do. We hand out L's to people.
You finished 8th. You took more L's than anyone.
We're not talking about it. We've done the season review. This is about the FA Cup. Season review's done, mate. This is FA Cup talk.
Enjoy playing your games against Wi-Fi password teams, innit?
Should Azpilicueta should that Azpilicueta on Aubameyang, should it have been a red?
Nah. You can see in the replay.
There's a dumb penalty.
Yeah, there's a centre covering.
Definitely a
so
penalty.
Punishment enough.
Yeah, would have been harsh to be a red. I'd have to be honest. Harsh to be a red, but definite penalty. He was beaten for pace, and he took him out. Basically, he knew what he was doing, pulled him. Aubameyang obviously very cleverly felt the first foul outside the box, carried on going, waited for the second foul inside the box, and went down. Don't blame him really. Great play.
But again, best defender in the league anymore.
I was going to say I've got one for you. Because we got caught beforehand with that same ball, but he went to Maitland-Niles instead, like twice before.
Rinse Dave, yeah.
Yeah. But who do you blame for that one? Do you blame Dave or do you blame Reece James for not offering any cover?
Both.
Yeah, both.
Both poor positionally, both of them.
Yeah. Reece James is a funny pick for the FA Cup final for me.
I don't know why Chelsea fans
he does look good.
No, he doesn't.
I'm not convinced.
No, he doesn't.
Flashes.
Mate, you still going about Bellerin, so...
Bellerin is 100% better. Played better than him yesterday, 100%.
Yeah,
his run yesterday. His run was...
at the moment.
His run led to the second goal, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was him.
He did lose it, to be fair. But...
Yeah,
he got tackled, but...
Yeah.
And then Pepe with the assist.
Yeah.
And then Aubameyang. Aubameyang,
that's what I like to
say about him.
That's why it's called a Bruno Fernandes assist, isn't it? You just passed him up to someone, let them do loads of skill, and just take the credit.
What about
he didn't even have to do lots of skill, though.
Of Kovacic that you keep banging on about last episode.
What?
About the great creative influence of Kovacic.
He had a good game. He was one of our only centre midfielders that actually doing something, like driving the ball forward.
I think your whole team played poor, to be honest with you. Giroud wasn't in the game. Pulisic, okay, he scored the goal, but other than that, didn't do much. Your defence looked dodgy every time we went anywhere near him.
That second goal, man. I watched it back.
That was class, man.
Yeah, the goal was class.
But the leading up to it, losing the ball in a stupid position.
I get it. Zuma, if he steps across, he's probably going to give away another penalty. It's a hard one, but he just didn't do anything. He just let Aubameyang kind of walk past him. He didn't do anything.
So many times, Aubameyang from that position, cut on his right foot and curl it far post. He's seen him do that so many times, because he can do that as well. So he thought he was going to do that, but then he just gave him the little dummy, swiped it onto his left and dinked it over the goalie. Great finish.
It was a good finish and it was a good bit of play. I just feel like Zuma could have done more. When I watched it back, he just like flat-footed. It just looked like he just let Aubameyang go past him. Look, when you watched it in real time, the first bit when he went past Zuma, I think it looked like... On the replay, I think you noticed that Kurt Zuma didn't really even try to do anything. Aubameyang kind of just walked past him. Whether he caught him flat-footed, I don't know what it was. Like you say, maybe Kurt Zuma thought he was going to go for the far post. I don't know. But I thought that Kurt Zuma made no effort to try and even give him a little shoulder, knock him off balance, anything. He didn't do anything. He just let Aubameyang go past him. It was way too easy.
That's Andy Taylor, shoulder. It would have been a red card and a pen or anything.
What's that?
Anthony Taylor, mate, if he touched Aubameyang, it would have been a red card, a pen, never playing football again.
Is he off the Christmas card list, yeah?
And Kurt Zuma.
I think you're just being bitter.
Kurt, happy can stay, mate.
But you think you should persist with Zuma?
I don't rate any of our centre-backs, but I don't think we're going to sign any.
The thing is, this isn't a new thing for Chelsea this season. You've conceded goals throughout the whole season. So and we've got good attacking players. So for us to score against you, I wasn't surprised. I knew we would score. It was just a question of if we could keep you out. If we could score more, then we could keep you out. That's what I always knew was going to be Arsenal's day. If we could keep you out and score a couple happy days.
It's been our worst defensive season. Our second worst season defensively.
Yeah, no, you've had a terrible... You've had a terrible defensive season in terms of letting in goals.
Mate, you're in trouble now. 3-0 down to Bayern as well. You got to go and play them with Pulisic injured,
Dave injured,
Azpilicueta injured,
Kante injured,
Williams injured.
Williams still injured, mate.
Really?
You might as well see if you can just forfeit the game, bro. Just be like, look, we're losing.
Just save the dough on the
I've got an even better idea. I've got an even better idea.
Save the train fare and that.
I've got an even better idea. You can go and you can challenge Arsenal to conceding 10 goals in 2 legs against Bayern Munich. How about that? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Hands up here if your team's won a trophy this season. That's right. No one's putting their hands up apart from me.
They're still in a trophy.
Actually, Antonio got Player of the Month, mate. So.
we're still in for one as well. So, we could still possibly...
What, do you think you're going to win the Europa?
I think we're probably one of the favourites, yeah.
Who have you got next?
Who? Lask, second leg against Lask, and we're winning 5-0. And then we're in the
Lask?
LASK.
Jesus.
Austrian team.
Yeah. What big teams are left in the Europa? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm done talking about the FA Cup. We were shit.
Inter,
Seville, Wolves, Seville,
Roma, Wolfsburg.
You should win it with them teams,
That's what I mean, yeah.
Inter's a good squad.
And we can potentially...
Good squad with a good manager.
We could potentially meet Inter in the final.
The Conte?
Yeah, Conte's the manager.
And a load of Man United's.
How are you going to roll your eyes at Conte? Guys are proven. He's done his bit.
I think Conte was the manager when we beat you in the 2017 FA Cup final. Do you remember that one? A bit like what happened yesterday.
I remember us winning the Premier League and then.
I know, that's what's so funny about it. You actually had a much better team that year. Same result though.
Same face as well.
Do you feel cheated by Anthony Taylor?
A little bit. I think he cheated the game. As in,
handball outside the
area.
area.
The goalkeeper was definitely outside the area.
I definitely think that was outside the area. I'm seeing different images, but why didn't they show it on TV? I wanted to watch a replay of it.
They obviously VAR'd it so quick and it was so obviously inside the box. They didn't need to show it.
Oh, is it?
I'm not going to lie.
Look like it's that.
I'm not going to lie.
They obviously done that.
I don't think you would have scored a free kick from that position anyway. It was so close. They're really hard to score them ones. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you would. You can never say you wouldn't. But I don't think it was.
The red card was the big deal because then we couldn't then go for a more attacking formation or anything.
No, I disagree.
I think in front of goal anyway, man.
I was going to say before that,
you weren't there.
Apart from the original 10-minute spell at the very start of the game when you looked a bit attacking, Mason Mount was getting on the ball a bit. After that, I don't think Chelsea had any really chances.
Did he get subbed off?
Yeah, he did.
Eventually, yeah.
I didn't even know.
But that was after the red.
After that first flurry.
And to be fair, your goal had a touch of fortune to it because he was not trying to pass to Giroud. It come off. I think it deflected off Holding or something. Fell at. Don't get me wrong, Giroud, lovely touch and nice finish. But it was fortunate that it come to Giroud in the first place. It was like a bit of a
ping pong.
Ping pong, yeah.
I'm not sold on Mount.
Nah.
To get you to the next level, that winning Prem.
He's not quite good enough, is he?
And I don't think Chelsea see him either. Otherwise, we wouldn't be signing people apparently in for like Kai Havertz. Werner.
I read today that they might announce that quite soon. I don't know, but then I also read that Chelsea have pulled out of it.
What?
I also read that Chelsea might have pulled out of it.
I don't think Chelsea would pull out of signing a player like that.
Yeah.
After a loss, that's normally when we buy it.
So, let's ask you this question now. Then, is it a good season for Frank Lampard?
Yes.
You still maintain that he's had a good season?
It was still a good season. Once we got top 4, it was a great season.
A great season.
Yeah, at the start of the season, with the transfer ban, losing our best player, and we lost our second best player the season before.
And a new manager. I think I'd.
And a new manager. And let's not pretend that we were great last season. We played some pretty stodgy football under Sarri. Still won Europa. Good day in Baku.
I would agree. I think Frank's had a decent first season. As much as that pains me to say.
Look at everyone's top 4 predictions at the start of the year. Only like one person had Chelsea in it. Of all the pundits, I didn't have us in top 4. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be a full building season.
I wouldn't call it a disaster season anyway.
No, it was definitely a disaster season. I thought we were going to be like 5th or 6th, like pushing, but probably just fall a bit short.
So, Tom, would you rather win the FA Cup or finish in the top 4? That's the real question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Then we can see. Then you can answer if Frank Lampard's had a bad season yourself. Because if you say you'd rather finish in the top 4, then arguably Frank Lampard has definitely had a much better season than Arteta.
It's a hard one to say because where we haven't been in the top 4 for a few seasons now. Of course, I want to get back in the top 4, but at the same time, there's nothing like the feeling you get when, like the day yesterday when we won it. Like it's such a great feeling. I know getting in the top 4 is a nice feeling as well, but because it happens progressively rather than just one day where everything's riding on that day and what happened, you just get and they get to lift the trophy. You don't get no trophy for coming full.
You get a lot more money.
So, yeah, I know.
I don't personally think, and this isn't being a hater, so I don't think Arsenal with this current squad would be able to challenge in the Champions League next season. I think one more season.
Yeah, but I don't think Chelsea will challenge in the Champions League either.
I think they will with the new signings. I do.
If we get a few more signings
next season.
I think they're so behind City and Liverpool, for instance, that even with their new signings, I still think they'll be behind them. I don't think anyone, even like that gap now that I see between Man City, Liverpool, then you've got Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal. That gap is so big.
I think it's all depends who signed, how they assemble their squads over the summer. and how they hit the ground running at the start of next season. I think it's going to be important how everyone starts next season and how all these signings fit in straight away. I think you're right. The depth of the squad, not so much Liverpool. Liverpool have got a good subs bench, but City just sets them apart from the others by so far. I think,
there's a huge gap.
Like even if with Chelsea's new signings, their first 11, I still don't think that you're.
Well, you're still going to have Giroud or Tammy as your backup striker, who are both, let's be honest, a bit shit.
I don't think Giroud's a backup striker in the Prem or the Champions League. You get goals anywhere.
Yeah, Giroud's a good.
Do you know where he did?
Backup striker.
Oh, is it?
I heard Giroud say today that
Didn't get many goals yesterday.
Timo Werner or not, like he's gonna give Frank Lampard a headache when it comes to Frank Lampard choosing the squad still. Like he's still gonna fight for that number one spot, which he will. Now, do you know what? I've always said Giroud's like one of them strikers, innit? But I have to hold my hands up and say I think Giroud's recently. I've just been seeing a side that maybe me personally, I've never really looked out for before. But recently, I think he's been.
I'll tell you the thing about Giroud, yeah. Watching him, obviously, I watched him for multiple seasons at Arsenal. He does a lot of things nice, but there's some things wrong with him. He ain't got no pace, so you can never play that ball in behind for him because he ain't going to get it. So forget about it. Everything's got to be into his feet. But he does lovely little even like the touch that he did for Pulisic's goal yesterday, that little flick round the corner for him. That was a lovely. He does that all the time, all day long. And he doesn't score enough goals throughout a season. If he's to be your main striker, he ain't going to score you 20 goals a season. If you look at all his seasons...
I think he could if you adapt the way you play towards him.
Yeah, but is he good enough? Is he good enough to
I think he'll get you enough goals. If you give him people... Like when he was with Hazard last season, that's when we were at our best. Because Hazard would just play off him. Yeah, but it don't matter. If he's assisting Hazard, that's still a goal. He's still getting you goals. He might be get you goals, but he ain't. It's the Firmino effect. I'd rather he gets you goals than he just scores them. Like,
yeah, but I feel like your number 9 needs to bang, and he don't bang.
You say that, but
36 goals.
As long as your team's getting goals,
games, he could get 20 goals. I think he never plays a full season. No one gives him a chance.
He did for Arsenal. He played a few seasons where he was our main striker, playing every game, and he probably at best, I don't even think he got 15 goals, and he was playing more or less every game. Like he done well.
I swear he didn't play. He's never played a full season for Arsenal. Every game, number 9.
Definitely has. There was definitely a couple of seasons when he was our main striker.
I've not actually watched Timo Werner play like a full game, but I've read that he plays down the middle, but also he'll play on the left. So he might put Giroud and him together.
A lot of stuff to work on over the summer. I just think these days, there's very few. Sorry, John. There's very few Premiership strikers that can do it all, and I think the top teams are going to need them strikers, the Agueros, the Aubameyangs, them sort of players that score every type of goal. You've got Danny Ings banging, scores good goals, didn't score a header all season, whereas Aguero's like how little, but he still bangs like 5-6 headers a season. Everything. I think. That's what's so hard to find in the market, and that's why I think it's very important that Aubameyang signs a new deal in terms of Arsenal going forward.
Oh, it's critical. Him signing a new contract is bigger than us signing new players.
Yeah,
he's that important for us. So we should definitely. Just, like I was saying to you yesterday, get rid of Ozil. I don't care. Just take a loss on him. Just get someone to pay his wages off for the rest of the year, 10 million or whatever it is. Just take the money, and then whatever wages we was paying Ozil, give it to Aubameyang.
Give them to him, yeah.
Yeah, and then whatever funds we do have, invest in a central midfielder and some defenders. I quite like the idea of the swap for Lacazette for the Atletico guy, Partey.
So,
yeah, I've been reading that in a few places. I quite like that. Like I like Lacazette, even though I know a lot of Arsenal fans give him stick.
Does that not leave you a bit thin? Number 9. Do you think Eddie Nketiah is good enough?
No, but what I think we can do is we can push Aubameyang through the middle, and then we can play. We've got better wingers, so I think we can play Reece Nelson, Saka, or I tell you, I really do like the look of who can play left wing. He's our young Brazilian guy, Martinelli.
Martinelli's quality.
Yeah.
Does he play through the middle as well?
And he can play through the middle, so you could play him,
Aubameyang. If you do get rid of Laka, you are a bit thin at number 9 backups.
Oh, Eddie would have to be the backup, but if you had Aubameyang playing number 9 and playing either 3 of them, I'd be happy for either 3 of them to play left wing. I feel like we'd be fine because Eddie can come in and do a job.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could play Martinelli. Martinelli can play number 9 as well. So there's a bit of we got a bit of flexibility there with them two, especially Aubameyang and Martinelli. They can play either. So I wouldn't be too upset about losing Lacazette, if I'm being honest. Plus, he had a big fee, doesn't score enough goals. He's a 1 in 5 sort of guy. Like he needs 5 chances to finish one. He's not. Yeah, he's just a bit of a not quite good enough.
He came to you as a prolific striker. He won't leave you as a prolific striker. That's
Yeah.
You say that, but he's never had many seasons where he's banged big numbers, really, goal-wise.
He did in France, didn't he?
I don't think he did.
I
don't think he's ever had like a 20-goal season before.
Yeah, he has. 100%.
Must have been France.
I don't think he has.
I think in France he had one good season where he had like 20 plus. Season. But he just ain't done it for us. I'll be honest with you. The thing is, I do like him. His work ethic's good. If you look, he tracks back a lot, wins the ball back a lot. And his link-up plays pretty good. And
one every 2 goals for Lyon in 7 years. 100 and 200.
Yeah, that's
100
not bad.
goals in 200 games. That's really good.
What's his Arsenal numbers? I bet it won't be nowhere near that.
Lyon.
It won't be 1 in 2.
Bro, he had last 3 seasons at Lyon, 28, 21, 27.
I'll take it back then, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think he's a bit overrated.
14, 13, 10 for Arsenal. Ain't bad. Not great.
Going down each season now.
It's not useless numbers. You know them ones. But it's not your starting number 9 numbers at the same time.
And I think sacrificing him to get a good defensive midfielder, I think would be worth do you know what I mean? Getting rid of him to get someone that we need that position to get covered. And then although Xhaka, who actually again played decent yesterday, I'd have to drop him, to be honest with you. He's a liability throughout the season. Yeah, he'll have to go. And I'd actually try and keep Ceballos for another year and make improvements there, really. Centre backs as well. Obviously, everyone knows we've got defensive issues as well.
I think he's definitely got quality, Ceballos. I don't think he's quite got the mettle to survive in the Prem.
I don't know, you know.
He looks like he likes a little bit of a...
a little bit of a tackle and a little bit of a...
Yeah.
Nice a little bit of an argument.
Wait, where's
he likes a bit of a prick. He's got...
Yeah, I'll reserve.
It's the gum shield, though, isn't it?
Next season.
He's not bad for that.
Shield. Yeah.
Is he loaned still?
Yeah, he's loaned. Real Madrid loan.
Yeah.
But they're talking about taking him again next season. I think Real Madrid are pretty keen as well. So
I can't see he's not getting in their team, is he? Let's be honest.
Not at the minute, no. But if he stays at Arsenal, has another good season at Arsenal, Modric is getting on a bit. They might think leave him at Arsenal front. Leave him at Arsenal, train him up a bit more. He's still young. He's probably only, I don't know, under 25. He's definitely under 25. Yeah. I think he played well yesterday too. I think in general Arsenal played well. I don't think there was one player where I said they had a bad game.
He stepped up to the occasion. What you're supposed to do in FA Cup finals at the end of the day. He didn't bottle it.
No.
Like some other team.
I think David Luiz
West
again.
Ham didn't bottle it against Liverpool. Gerrard just got better than you.
Huh?
West Ham didn't bottle the Gerrard final. It's fine, mate.
Mate, that's long in the distance. Long in the distance. How can you hate on that goal? Let's be honest with you.
Yeah, great goal.
Yeah.
David Luiz, though, had a good game yesterday, I thought.
Yeah, he did. Played to his strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah, not having to defend much.
Yeah,
Holding played well.
We kept that. We kept just hoofing it to Giroud in the hope that he would do something. He'd be like, "What?"
He always had 2-on-1. Because we had 3
centre backs. Wasn't it?
He was always 2-on-1, and like that. I ain't gonna lie. That you know what really wound me up when Drew went down like a sack of potatoes when he got a flipping
a little touch in the back.
He touched his back. Like, I was so happy when we started doing that, wasting time towards the end. I was like, that's what you get for doing all that shit, Drew. Sitting on the bench, you can't do nothing about it now. I was glad as soon as any Arsenal player got touched, they started going down. I thought, yeah, that's what you get.
You would have done that anyway, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Just to get back at Drew, you would have done that anyway.
No, but he was doing it when they was 1-0 up. Because Chelsea was 1-0 up, he started doing it from like 20 minutes
He did that
in.
because he got fouled, mate. You can't time waste to 20 minutes in. Like,
exactly, so why was he?
Trying to get him
that touch in the back was soft. He definitely went down way too easy.
It was worse than soft.
Yeah. Would you rather win the FA Cup or the Europa League?
Europa.
Watch Tom say the FA Cup.
FA Cup. Bro, Europa is do you know what, yeah? I kind of wish that we could win the FA Cup without going into Europa. Europa is just a bit of a dross tournament.
Is that you're just saying it because you can't win it?
What, the Europa?
Yeah.
Well, we got to the final last year.
Yeah,
Didn't
well,
win it.
didn't win it.
No, we didn't win it, but we got to the final.
You know,
We won it.
It's very easy to disregard a title that you've never won. You're going to say
Yeah,
FA
but
Cup 'cause you won it.
I don't think you play anyone decent till. Well, for instance, what are United in now? Is it the quarters?
Last 16.
And you're playing who?
I don't know. Last
Exactly,
Austrian,
exactly.
Austrian team.
That says it all. And you're going into the quarters and you're playing some.
Listen, I think it's
but-
definitely the quality of the competition has improved in recent years as opposed to how it used to be.
It's just, do you know what it is? It's just when you compare it to the Champions League, it's so shit compared to the Champions League. Like in
Yeah,
the
that's
last
'cause-
16 of the Champions League, you're not going to be playing Losk or whatever you said their name was. Yeah.
So imagine
It's
the
like-
FA Cup.
But look at the teams you play in the FA Cup. You don't really get anyone till what, quarters? Quarters that are half decent. Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
playing
Innit?
like League One, League Two, unless you get a really unlucky draw.
No, we
It's
had
the same thing.
we played all Premiership teams apart from Leeds.
If you're saying
Leeds was our only team that was, and Leeds won our Premiership team now. So we beat all basically Premiership teams we didn't play it.
From what round?
from the start. We had Leeds, Bournemouth, Sheffield United, City, Chelsea. We didn't have no easy games in the FA Cup. I wouldn't say that's the hardest one. Obviously, the semis was hard, but we still had to play decent Premiership teams, and Leeds were a decent team as well. So the worst thing is, I would actually say that Leeds would beat this Losk anyway. That's how deep it is.
Yeah, but would Leeds beat Olympiacos?
Don't know about that. Olympiacos are decent.
I just feel like seeing as one of the things you get for winning the FA Cup is a spot in the Europa League. The Europa League has to be better than the FA Cup.
You play Portsmouth as well. They're not Premiership.
Did we play Portsmouth?
Yeah, you beat them 2-0.
The FA
Was
Cup.
that after Leeds?
It's the way the FA Cup.
Yeah.
The FA
No,
Cup's
that was
lost
Leeds,
its.
then Bournemouth, then Portsmouth.
The FA Cup's lost its. What's the word I'm looking for? It used to be classed as such a better achievement than it is now. I think.
I think
Now
it is, man. I just think it's
No,
hard.
it is. It is. It's
I
the
think
best.
it is still big.
It's
It's
still
the
big.
best.
It's the second best
Domestic
domestic
Cup.
thing you can win.
Yeah, after the league.
After
I think
the-
it's well heralded-
Premiership.
It's well heralded by the fans, so I think that's why teams do really go for it. I think.
Do you know what? I think it's a bit of
Bit of scrap metal.
no. I think that it's the big teams make it like that because they try to make it as if it's not important. But if you ask any team outside the teams that ain't fighting for the top four to win the FA Cup, they would fucking, oh my God, imagine what they'll be having statues up for the managers.
Yeah.
They'll be shutting the streets
Imagine
down.
East London if West Ham won the FA Cup. We'd
Yeah,
still
it'd be
fighting.
crazy.
If Gerrard hadn't scored that goal, we'd still be on the piss, mate.
That's what I mean. So I think only the big teams that are going for the top of the Premiership discard it. All the other teams,
I think it's all down
either.
to,
but
it's all
they
down to
probably-
fixtures, isn't it?
Yeah, they only
If they've
discard
got
it
a-
because they want to get they want to qualify top four because there's more money in the Champions League. You get Champions League, you
It's
get
all
better
money.
players.
It's all money. It's all
It makes
money.
more sense to get to the Champions League for like the money, the players, and everything else, and the FA Cup gets sacrificed.
Mm.
Should the FA Cup have a Champions League spot? Different.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
That would make it a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Sacrifice the league position.
The
for
fourth
FA
spot
Cup.
for the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I would happily agree to that. Even if Arsenal were fourth, I would say it'd make the FA Cup way more exciting.
That FA Cup final would get.
All right.
And then again, the fixtures would put a massive strain on teams, man. If you think about it, if you've got a Champions League run, a FA Cup, you stay in the League Cup, and you're playing the Prem.
Listen,
you've got to
No,
take
but
you've
you
got to
do what
take the
you do
FA
now.
Cup seriously for a Champions League spot.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
you
it is a lot of strain on the team.
yeah you
I
probably
don't
you'd
want
have
to
to do
hear
your
that though,
resting.
really.
How much
Yeah.
money do you get for winning the FA Cup?
It's
I
not
don't
How much?
Not a lot compared
Not-
to the others.
not
I
enough.
feel like
You don't think that's the case, Tom?
I feel like the way that the squads are now, yeah, it's not about the team anymore. You got to have a good squad. So if your squad isn't good enough to cope with playing a game every 3 days, I ain't being funny. I could happily play football every 3 days.
Bro, you can't
Like,
even make Wednesday, mate. This is Brian.
Yeah, people get injured. But what I'm saying is, like, they're professional athletes. Do you know what I mean? They have all this rest and recovery. They have the best nutrition.
Physios, yeah.
They have physios. Like, come on, you can't play a game every 3-4 days. Like, you should be able to. And then if you are worried about people, have a good enough squad where you have to rotate. You just have to rotate. That's why, like, it goes back to
if
the
you
whole
can't,
Man
if you
City
can't keep
point.
up with it, you can't.
Yeah.
Then you don't deserve to be in the Champions, do you?
Nah, it goes back to the whole Man City point. Like you were saying, their squad is so deep. Like, imagine that they could easily cope with doing that, like fighting on 4 or 5 fronts.
Not everyone's got a sheik
Yeah.
set on the money. Do you know what I mean? It's hard, except for these teams like Chelsea, like City, these soulless corporations that can have a squad like that. Everyone else has got to sort of do it organically by
Most teams have to balance the books
or be very clever. Yeah,
You balance the books. We have youth players now.
of course you do. You pay them off. You pay off the books. Well, no, they will make the company.
We did
buy
our
the
bad,
company
and-
that makes the books.
Chelsea do not struggle when it comes to spending. Like, how much have you spent already?
Hold
Just
on,
on your
Mark
side.
turned into a statue.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was waiting to hear the rest of his point, and he just froze. Could someone screenshot that?
Oh, God. Yeah, we'll have the screenshot, definitely. Well, Mark's obviously lost for words. I wonder what's happened to him.
He's just calculating how much money Chelsea have wasted over the last.
Yeah.
When did he come in, old Roman? 2004, 2005?
I wonder.
No, but
if we can get that up.
Back to the point though, like you were saying, I think unless, like you said, if you're a Chelsea or even a Man United or a Man City where you have millions upon millions upon millions to pump in and pump in and pump in, and it doesn't matter if you spend 60 million and they're crap. You just buy a next one for 60 million.
See you later, Mark. He's gone to cry himself to sleep.
I think it's like that, to be honest with you.
Hey!
No, I agree, Tom. I think it's very hard to expect. And I get it, what you're saying about having them being athletes and needing to be able to play those days, but I do feel like, I know they're adequately compensated, but I feel like it's a lot of strain. You need, like...
Listen, 11 men...
You know what playing a Sunday league 90 minutes is stressful.
No, I know it's
Premier
completely
League
different.
is like next level.
I know it's
Listen,
completely
11
different.
men, 11 players will not win you anything, man. You need to have a
You need a full
squad.
squad.
Yeah,
You
11
need
players
to-
don't win you anything. You need a
you
squad.
need
You
at
need
least-
rotation. You need depth.
And that's
you
where
need
managers
strength.
come in. You need managers to rotate, to rest.
Pick the games where you rest someone. Pick the games where you play
Yeah,
someone.
it would just change your manager's priorities. They would probably play a few of your second string players in a Prem game and save this first team for the FA Cup game.
If you're a Chelsea bench person, i.e. someone like, I don't know, Loftus-Cheek or someone like that generally starts on the bench but still a decent player, surely you should be good enough to beat, I don't know, a Bournemouth or a Watford or
that's
a
what I'm
team
saying.
in the lower half of the Premiership. Like, he should still be able to play and beat them, surely. Be good
Agreed.
enough to beat them. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
So it will just be come down to squad rotation, right?
Yeah, it would just be squad. That would be. It would just change your priorities as a manager.
But there's still got to be Premiership quality. Do you know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
That's the difference. I think, and the market's so inflated now. I think it's hard to. You can't guarantee anything. Like, it doesn't matter. You've got to chuck money left, right, and centre. But I think a lot of these players can't hack it in the Premier League, and I think the fixtures add to that. I don't think any other league, in my opinion, comes close to the required fitness and the intensity of the Premier League.
Well, don't all the other leagues that don't have 2 cups? Aren't we one of the only leagues that has obviously the FA Cup and the League Cup? Yeah.
No, they've all got their own domestic cup as well, haven't they?
No,
they've got
but
one.
only one.
They've
Only
only got
one.
one. They don't have the extra one.
Oh.
Do you see
So
what I'm
we've got the
saying?
League
So,
Cup as well.
yeah, so there's already that whole extra tournament that English teams are playing to start with. So yeah, of course. But I'll still go back to the fact that if you're a professional footballer and you can't do 90-minute running every 3-4 days, then nah, I can't hear that argument. You got to be fit enough that you can do a 90-minute run.
Saying this from the man who
Yeah,
walked
but
his 5K for the NHS.
But no,
I'm
I mean,
a
if you look
professional
at
athlete,
look at the Christmas pile up. What you got? Usually one on the 20th or the 21st. Then
Yeah,
Christmas
but I love
Eve,
that though.
then
I love
Boxing Day. Then you love it as a spectator. Of course you do. But that's going to take a strain on anyone, mate. Four games in 8 days?
I'd love to see
That's squad. That's where it comes back into this.
I'd
what
love to
we're
see a
saying, squad.
stat about the injuries over that period because I reckon it goes up.
And it's such an important period as well because it's where in a week you can have a spring of 12, 15 points. It's crazy.
Yeah, the season we won the Prem under Conte, a lot of that was just down to us didn't lose a game over Christmas.
But you wasn't in Europe that season, was you?
No, we weren't.
Was that the after the Mourinho took you to
It was
12th or
after
13th or whatever it was?
Yeah, it was after the Mourinho
I don't think it was that low, but yeah.
third season. I think it was like 10th or something, yeah, after the fallout.
So still our worst season. We still come higher than you in your worst season.
Can't remember, mate. I just remember us winning the league afterwards, though. And we won the
Touche.
league 2 seasons before that. So, you know.
Touche.
Glad a year off, yeah.
Yeah, you've got to let everyone else have a chance.
Can I just, before we wrap all this up, could you, from the last podcast, just have that clip where Mark said that I'd be... What was it you was going to do about with my tears, Mark? I can't remember what it was now.
I remember him saying something about 3-1 Chelsea. I remember that.
He said 3-1 Chelsea and he'll be using my tears as something.
I don't remember the tears line, but...
Tears for pillows or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
We can find the clip
lines.
and edit it in, don't worry. So that sort of backfired.
So I'm still sticking to Pulisic for Ballon d'Or when he's back from his injury.
Listen, he's good, but I don't think he's done enough yet to even be in that debate, in that conversation.
The fact that
I
you
bet,
even
he's,
said
I bet
that.
he's not even in the betting.
How can he be in the betting? He ain't gonna win no Ballon d'Or. That is just crazy talk.
Ballon d'Or 2021 odds. There's an option to click must include Pulisic, which can't be good.
He'd be a very, very long shot. The thing is, he has actually looked good. I can't sit here and say he ain't looked good, but
No odds yet, anyway.
he ain't gonna be nowhere near the Ballon d'Or.
No.
If he even makes the top 10, I will be surprised.
When was the last time a Prem player won the Ballon d'Or?
Ronaldo, isn't it?
Not when he was.
Yeah.
When
I
he was
don't
at
know if
I
United.
think Ronaldo in 08 might be the last time someone won it in the Prem.
It's always Messi, been Messi, Ronaldo for the last how many years?
Yeah, but even before that, it was apart from that one little bit with Ronaldo, it was like Serie A teams.
Didn't Frank get very close one year?
Frank came third or second.
Hold on a second.
Owens come first. Owens come close as well.
So, what do people now think about Arteta, the manager?
Only two
No, that is
Premier League managers have won it. Sorry to interrupt you. Since 1992. Michael
Yeah.
Owen in 2001.
Yeah.
Ronaldo
Mark, he
in
was right.
2008.
Ronaldo 2008, yeah.
Arteta. You played
Now
very
that he's
defend-
picked up his first trophy in 6 months, that's not a bad thing to have, is it? 6 months in charge, one trophy.
and 8th place finish.
What was the discussion, sorry?
How do you rate Arteta's season? I think he's a good manager.
Well, half a season,
showing it,
not
yeah.
a season, half a season. Remember,
He's a good manager, and he's managed to make Arsenal look defensively solid, which is worrying.
Well, not every game, but he has in games, yeah.
Yeah, but
He looks
No.
good. I think he's still.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. I mean, I know I mentioned it before, but I've been watching the City documentary, and you can see how much of an influence he had even back then on the players. They all respected him, and I think obviously he's learnt from a serial winner in Pep. So I think the sky's the limit for them. He's happy to push a young squad through.
See if they get some financial
Be
backing.
nice to see if he can, even if he don't, how he spends the money that he does have, or how he balances the books by, like you say, possibly selling Lacazette or doing a swap and that. You know, it's not all about tactics and putting the right team out. You know, there's more to a manager. And
he definitely needs backing.
He needs to do something over the summer. And like you say, 6 months since what's his name went back to Transylvania, he's done really well.
Villarreal, mate.
Villarreal, yeah. I'd agree.
Dracula, mate.
I think Arteta's done well since he's come in. Obviously, winning the FA Cup's the icing on the cake, and hopefully he gets backed and we can push on next season.
Well, we're,
and just a slight dig here. He's been in charge 6 months and he's won one trophy. Do you know how many Tottenham managers there's been since they've won any trophy?
So I read some stat today about Arteta's played games for Everton, won the FA Cup this many times, assisted Pep for 3 years, managed Arsenal and won the FA Cup in the time it's taken Tottenham to win.
There's a Twitter.
But yet, North London is white. Okay, boys. Okay.
There's a Twitter that is days since Tottenham won a trophy, and the geezer just tweets how many days every single day.
Yeah,
like 5,430.
But I get Tottenham fans in my ear because you finished by Tottenham. North London is white. All right, lads.
Well, they finished above you.
They've got a bit of stadium than you.
Who gives a shit?
They've now got to do an extra round of qualifying because of you.
Listen, ask any Tottenham fan. Yeah, the thing is, you have to find one that's pretty old now to remember when they last won a trophy. So just show me your medals in it, and I'm not talking the League Cup. I'm talking the proper trophy. Show me one of your medals in it. That's all you got. That's all I got to say to them. Like, because we can pull out medals.
Tottenham are not doing exactly what we said. They're not investing in having a squad. They're so thin on their subs bench. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's why, do you know what, yeah? In a way, I kind of rated Tottenham more getting to the Champions League final than I would have rated someone that spent a lot of money getting to the Champions League final.
100%. They did.
I did rate that
last season.
Yeah.
Pochettino is in he was the best manager last season. If we did a manager of the season last season, I'd have given it to Poch all day.
I've already said that was one of the
weirdest
things to happen.
And like I told you, he turned up for his son to sign.
Yeah.
For their youth team, he was wearing a Tottenham kit. It was just there's obviously something going on there. One other thing I was going to say, while we're at the end of the season, the end of the FA Cup, some very, very early pre-season predictions for the position of your team next season, and if you think you'll win any domestic cups.
Yeah. Early prediction. Before signings.
All right, yeah, let's do Chelsea first because they're the most trash.
I'm saying we'll finish third.
Third, yeah?
Third.
Close to top two, or?
Yeah, I think we'll get closer to the top two. Unless...
Who's the top two?
Without current signings.
Who's
Liverpool,
the top
Man
two?
City.
Oh, so you're completely disregarding Manchester United?
100%. 100%. I think City right now, I think they'll win it.
You know what else you should predict the other three people's teams as well while you're at it, where you think they're going to come.
Yeah.
It should be fun.
I think United will still come fourth. Tottenham fifth, Arsenal sixth. You're not going to sign anyone in the window. Your squad's still going to be thin. You'll get a few injuries. And then it will just be rinse repeat. Like, I've seen it before.
So FA Cup final 2021, Arsenal Chelsea again. Is that what you're saying? Rinse repeat.
Listen, you won one final. Enjoy it. West Ham, Keith Moyes. I actually really like Moyes. I don't know why. Where did you finish the season? 15th?
15th, yeah.
I reckon about 12th. 10th to 12th.
You ain't said if Chelsea are going to win any silverware yet?
Nah, I don't think we will. Apart from maybe an FA Cup.
Not if you meet Arsenal in the final, you won't.
An FA League. Hopefully we get United, man. It's an easier game.
Ooh. Do you know what was the funniest thing, actually, about the final? Before the semis, everyone was like, oh, it's definitely going to be an all-Manchester final.
Yeah.
And that didn't go too well, did it?
The annoying thing is all Arsenal fans, after they got into the final, had acted like they'd already beat Chelsea, and then the fact that you went on and done it anyway. Not so much you personally,
I
Tom,
weren't cocky,
but
I was
things.
being very cocky the other night, and I weren't being too
Nah,
cocky.
but
I just
a
said
lot
I
of
think
Arsenal
Arsenal was
fans
going to win.
disregarded it, and then to be able to do
they beat
that,
Liverpool, they beat
and
Man
then
City,
gas it.
and they thought they was the best team in the world, bro.
They still do right now. You can just see the gas coming from North London.
Oh man, I ain't even logged on to it for the last 2 days, last 24 hours. I can't deal with it.
So
Go on,
Mark, what are you predicting? You're predicting that you're going to finish third.
Third,
No
a League Cup or an FA, maybe a League Cup, maybe an FA Cup, but I'm not sure.
Domestic cup, yeah.
Yeah, quarterfinals of the champs.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it for us.
All right.
And then I'll call my top four.
I reckon we're going to finish third.
Yeah.
Well, we'll finish above you, definitely. Again. You've got to blow your own trumpet, innit? I reckon we'll win the champs. No, I'm joking. I reckon I reckon we could definitely touch the quarterfinals of the Champions League if we get the right signings in and that as well.
Yeah,
No,
you boys are there to make up the numbers. It's all right.
I did this by like
you ain't
our
even there to
squad
make
now.
up any numbers. So what are you talking about? You can
Yeah.
watch it on a Wednesday night. We'll watch you on a Thursday night. It's all good.
At least we got a chance of winning the Europa, though.
Do you?
You thought that
Well,
last year.
okay, all right. Be honest, yeah. You don't think Arsenal have got a better chance of winning the Europa than Manchester
man.
United
I've
and
seen
Chelsea have
Arsenal
winning the
bo-
Champions
I've
League?
seen-
Be honest.
I've
No
be
one said
honest.
win. We said get to the quarterfinals.
No, I know,
one said
but
win.
he just
I've
said
seen
do. But
Arsenal
I'm just
bo-
saying, be honest.
I've seen
I
Arsenal
think
bottle
they've
the Europa
got
League
more-
so many times.
I think they've got more chance of getting to the quarters than you've got of winning the Europa.
So do I. That's
Yeah.
a good. That
Yeah.
is you hit the nail on the head with that. So do I. Mate, we made the quarterfinals. Was it last year or the year before when we beat PSG? No one thought we was going to do that, and we done it with a rubbish team. You could easily reach quarterfinals.
Who's your
FA Cup, League Cup. I don't know.
hard
I
to-
reckon third and quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Who have you guys in the top four?
Everyone else's team.
Top four will be the same as it is this year. It could be in any order. Like, and what did you say, Joe? I reckon West Ham. I reckon West Ham could easily probably get 10th, maybe finish around 10th. Arsenal, I reckon. I'm not even saying it to be horrible, man. I reckon you'll be 6th, maybe around the 6th mark, unless you make some shock signings. I reckon Arsenal will be around number 6, maybe the FA Cup again or something like that.
What, Chelsea fourth, yeah?
Chelsea 4th, yeah. But I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and embarrass myself, but I don't know. I'm not going to say. I reckon
This
the
is
top
an
four-
early season,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's a very early. You can
top
amend
4
it
could be
before
in
on
top
the first
4
day of the
could,
season.
top 4 could be in any order. I reckon anyone in the top 4, but I think it will be the same 4 teams: Man United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool. Arsenal 6th, West Ham 10th.
Go on, Tom.
What's your predictions, Tom?
I think in terms of Arsenal, I think it's solely based on who we sign. If we go into the season with the same team that we have now, with Aubameyang still there, and we don't make any defensive or any midfield signings, then I'd have to agree with you. Look, I can't see us getting past 6th. 5th, 6th is, I reckon, the best we could hope for. Again, I think our best chance will be to have a run in the Europa or have a run in one of the domestic cups. If we make a few signings, good signings as well, not just signings for the sake of them, that can actually change the team, then I don't know. Maybe 4th, pushing 4th. I'd have to see other people sign. But if I was being honest, it's obviously going to be Liverpool, City, 1 and 2. Then I'd have to say, just because they've done their business early, although it pains me to say it, I would have to say probably Chelsea 3rd, because they've done what looks like good business early. I still think they could do with some defensive reinforcements, but they've already made good signings. And then you would have to, I'd have to probably say Man United 4th, I guess. And then Arsenal, Tottenham 5th and 6th, depending on, like I said, who Arsenal and Tottenham sign. If they make good signings, Arsenal and Tottenham, then they could easily compete for 4th and 3rd. But it is who they sign. And unfortunately, Joe, I honestly think West Ham might be in a relegation battle again. The thing is,
It could happen. It depends what happens.
I don't know why. They seem to have like a decent squad, but they just always seem to be down there doing shit. Like, I don't know what it is.
Don't perform against the right teams, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, like you'll beat. I've seen you in that season beat Tottenham, Chelsea, like good teams, and then you'll play against someone who West Ham will turn them over, and you'll get done. So unless Moyes can, get that thinking the other way, and like, all right, we lose to Chelsea and Tottenham, but we was expected to, but beat the teams in and around us, so you're not going to be nowhere near the relegation.
It's where
I think you're going to be shit next season as well, mate. It's fine.
No, but I was honest.
I do. To be honest with you, I'm not far off agreeing with you in terms of West Ham and Arsenal. I think West Ham have got to push on massively. Like I said before, I think I'd be happy with,
mid-table nothingness.
Yeah, but even just like 9th.
Yeah.
But like not 9th, but like safe by Christmas 9th. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of embarrassing to a certain extent to want that, but at least that will show that we're getting results in the right places and then push on. If he signs some decent players, gets rid of some dead wood, because we've got a lot of money spent on players that don't perform. If he does it right in the summer, then maybe, creeping up a little bit higher. We've done it. We've pushed for Europa spots in seasons with worse teams. So, but I think that's just being an optimist. I personally, as much as I hate to say it, and it's hard to say after yesterday's performance, I think Chelsea are going to be up there this season. I think it's going to be a lot more open Premiership between those top 4 next season. I think it's definitely imperative on Man United signing better players, because I think although Martial had that little spur of scoring goals and you look good after the lockdown, I think your last 3 games, I thought
Yeah, they
you
were
were
bad.
average.
Yeah, they were.
Against us,
At
you
best.
were the better team. That Greenwood goal was the best goal of the day, but I don't think you deserved any more than that point on that day. And we were pretty comfortably safe. So I don't know. I think Chelsea have done some great business. If they settle in, I think they can definitely be pushing. I personally think Liverpool might get found out next season. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't see him signing many players in the transfer window. And I feel like with the analysis and research that goes on into playing at the moment, I think they'll get found out. I don't think you can play the same way for 3 seasons and have success. I think Man City have just got too much spending power and too good a manager. I mean, they'll be up there, Champions League, but I don't think that they will be running away with it. I think it's going to be a City landslide for the win, and then it's going to be.
I agree with that on the City one.
I think it's going to be used free for battling out of second, if I'm honest with you. And I do think Arsenal can do better. I think they could potentially push. Leicester, a good squad. They've probably got a better squad than Arsenal, if I'm honest, but underperformers. Arsenal overperform. So I think if you fill them a couple of holes, I think you could definitely give Leicester a run for their money. Maybe going for 5th spot, like you said. If you sign exceptionally good, then who knows? But I don't think they're anywhere near the Arsenal of old, and I don't think they ever will be. I think that's what people, and a lot of Arsenal fans, again, yourself not included, Tom, but a lot of the Arsenal fans I know are clinging on to this team and the Invincibles. Like, I watched that Ramsey goal earlier and I watched that Wilshere goal. Both of the ones with the flowing passing.
Yeah.
And that Arsenal was different class, mate. But I feel like that is history now, and I think you've got to accept, or the Arsenal fans that I deal with, I've got to accept that that's not going to happen. And if you're going to do it, you're going to do it in a different way.
And Arteta does play a different way.
Yeah, that's it. But I think he's definitely got the potential to do that. Yeah. And I think if they do, even if Arsenal were to contend for Champions League, they wouldn't do it playing the way that of old. I think they do it in this new way, and I think it's going to be a very interesting season.
Yeah, I think what Arsenal fans have to understand is that until it's the way football is now, unfortunately, we have to spend money. And if Arteta doesn't get backed and makes with money, let's be honest, he needs to spend. And if he doesn't get back, then we're going to be where we was this season, maybe a little bit higher.
I mean,
I said, 5th, 6th.
I think you're going to need to get that team right. Champions
150 million at least.
Yeah, I was going to be a little bit kinder and say 100.
150 million at least.
I think you could probably put the young centre back.
The way players are valued today, 150.
Another big centre back. A centre back. If you can get Nathan Ake for 40 million, I think you can sign a decent, world-class centre back for 50. And then Tierney looks good. I think Holding could come good. Possibly cover or a replacement for Bellerin, and then maybe a centre mid. I think you could, with the right. If you sold Laka, got Partey, I think 100 mil would be enough.
Oh, when I say 150, I'm not including if you sell players. I'm just saying that kind of number, spending that kind of number.
Yeah, 3-4 players definitely is what we need.
Yeah, it needs to be an overhaul, and he's had 6 months to do something to a team that wasn't his. So I'll be very interested to see what he does with a team that
he seems quite ruthless as well. He seems like he ain't going to stand for it. If you think you're shit and you're no good for the team, he's just going to get rid of it. Oh, that's the way it's coming across at the minute, which
with the Guendouzi incident, that does seem it. Because previously, if you had like a young kid who had potential, I think it would have been let to slide a little bit longer. Arteta's just gone out now, mate.
John, do you have Sanchez back at Man U?
Nah.
He's got to go, yeah?
He's got to go, yeah. I can't wait to get rid of that geezer. Honestly, free up that wage bill, man. I don't even want to know what he's on. I know it's 400k plus a week.
I think it's $500,000, mate.
Highest paid player at United. I don't even...
What a business that was for Arsenal.
Listen, he could go to Inter Milan. He could be the best player in Inter Milan's history. I don't want that clown back. No way. I don't want him back. I want to free up that wage bill and secure some young. How old is Alexis Sanchez now? 30.
31.
Yeah.
He must be at least, yeah.
No, I don't want him back. Not at all.
Yeah.
He don't fit into Man United. I don't know. He's over the hill. He's probably doing all right in Italy because it's slower. He gets more time. But yeah, FA Cup went on a bit of a ramble. Can I ask you a quick question, Mark? Who's had a better season? And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, "Oh, I just spent 200 million." Manager for manager, both first time in a big team like that. Who's had a better season, Ollie or Frank?
Frank.
No, he hasn't. How?
Yes, man.
How?
The transfer ban, John.
No.
Get the transfer ban.
No, hold on. I'd have to interject something here. If, and this is obviously a big if Ole does pick up the Europa, surely coming third and picking up a trophy is better than what Frank's done.
I'll take that back. I'll retract it if he wins the Europa.
Yeah.
Because you always talk. Me and Tom had this discussion the other day. Listen, Maguire was 80 million of that 200, and he was inherited. Like he might have. They like you said, they chased him for 2 years. He wasn't an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signing. He was probably a Woodward signing.
Yeah, Mourinho wanted him. That's why Mourinho had like massive moments when he didn't get
80
him.
million. All right, cool. They spent the money, but that's not an Ole signing, so you can't really count that.
But Frank couldn't sign no one.
Yeah,
but that's because Chelsea are cheats.
But we lost our best player.
Didn't you sign Kovacic?
Frank had a better season, man.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you sign Kovacic?
That was a technicality.
Why would I say that?
It wasn't a proper signing.
Huh?
I'm not saying it to bum Chelsea.
I think
I'm saying didn't we sign Kovacic? Now I still say Frank, but again I'm biased, so you guys ask the others.
I think.
I just think I look at Ollie's squad. I look at Ollie's squad and I think United should have done a bit better.
I think the expectation was for Ollie to do better. I think Ollie was supposed to do better. But if he picks up the Europa League, then picking up a trophy is better than not picking up a trophy.
You're telling me that Ollie was supposed to get better than third? That's what you're telling me. Ollie was supposed
to. No, he was supposed to get better than Frank. He was supposed to get better than Frank. He was
supposed to get better than Frank.
He wasn't supposed to get better than third. Of course not. The third was realistically where he was supposed to come because he weren't going to touch
the gap between third and second. They probably want that to be a little bit shorter, smaller.
But he was at the start of the season because you have to bring the money into it because the money's a factor. With the money that Man United have spent, and Frank spent no money, and it was Frank's first. Ollie's been there, a year and a half?
A year and a half, yeah. Because he came in halfway through the season.
Ollie did sign in Fernandes, to be honest. He's done very well there. And that's definitely a bonus.
If you look at Ollie's signings, Wan-Bissaka and Bruno, they're two good signings, really.
And James.
I do. Yeah. James
I'd give you Bruno, but I don't know about Wan-Bissaka. I think the jury's still out on him.
Yeah, I think jury's out for them. But he is good.
Oh, you got Bellerin at right back. What are you talking about? Or Kolasinac? There's no discussion to be had. Left back, right back, trash back, whatever. And you, Joe, you'd have flipping. Who was you just cussing? I can't remember now. But you'd have him at your team.
James. No,
he'd walk straight into West Ham.
I'd rather have Bowen than
Bowen's better than him, mate.
I'd rather have Lanzini on the wing.
He wouldn't get him West Ham team. He'd get on the bench.
He'd get straight in your team.
Look, basically, you've put a point out there. Everyone's told you it's trash, and now you're getting the argument. So you're picking on everyone.
I think Ollie had a better season.
It's an open forum. Of course, you're going to say that.
Of course, I am.
But,
I'd have to say
just
Frank.
Look at the league. I'm going to say.
I'd have to say Frank.
I'd have
to say Frank, to be honest with you.
I will. I'll look at the league, definitely.
And remember as well, United only slipped in there on like the last day of the season. It weren't like you were solid third the whole season. Like you got in by the skin of your teeth.
I just think it's a good one.
Arsenal in the top four longer than United were, I think.
Was we?
Of course, the season, yeah.
That's shocking. I didn't even know that. I thought we was nowhere near it the whole season. It felt like that anyway.
I swear I saw
it felt like we was nowhere near it the whole bloody season.
Well, Arsenal top of the league at the moment, anyway. So.
Yeah. Wee.
Well, I suppose, like I said, FA Cup ramble went on a bit of a
little detour.
A bit of a detour, but anyone that listens, big up, thank you, and we will catch you next time.
Just one last message for all the Chelsea fans. Chin up, boys. Maybe next year, eh?